Coming up today, we're chatting with the cast of The Rocky Horror Show.
You know, for me, it's like being in the band that I never was in. You know, it's a funny irony that about this show. It's just sort of like being a rock and roll star.
Dan will tell you about A Little Bit of Broke, and I'll tell you about Groovin' the Moo's big announcement. Produced on Awabakal and Warramai Land, this is The Good Stuff, powered by BYD on Newcastle Live.
This is
Good.
good stuff.
The Good Stuff. Groovin' the Moo will say goodbye to their home in Maitland to take over Foreshore Park in 2024. More than 25,000 music lovers are expected to descend on the city for the festival, which is Groovin' the Moo's only stop in New South Wales this year. Locals have been up in arms about this change. To check out what they've had to say, head to our Facebook page.
This is good stuff.
The Rocky Horror Show has broken box office records with its current run at Civic Theatre. We're joined for a chat by cast members Miff Warhurst and Jason Donovan.
It means everything to be in Newcastle. I mean, it's a great city. It deserves a show like this. It's a great theatre, and I hear the audiences here are ready, which is even more exciting. So we love a good audience, and I hear the Newcastle audiences are incredible. So.
Well, from my experience, we've done a couple of Spicks and Specs live shows here, and they have always been absolutely fabulous. So I can't wait. And we're enjoying the city. We've been wandering around. But no, Newcastle's fabulous. Really excited, and we can feel that the audiences here are really keen for us to be here too, and I think that makes it extra special. And the theatre's fab. The people here are fab.
And I think they've even renovated the pool at the front, especially for
just
me.
For you.
It's fantastic.
They heard you were coming.
And the dolphins out the front. I mean, they heard I was coming.
It's completely out of the ballpark for me. I've never done any theatre or musical theatre, but I've done presenting and obviously TV and live stuff. So it was a huge challenge initially, but the crew and the cast so supportive. And I learnt so much. I've had a ball. Like, I'm not sure I'll ever do any musical theatre again, but
Miff is going to be permanently in musical theatre after this. You'll never be able to take her out.
You're very kind. I've loved it. It's been, such a huge thing. For me to be able to do something I've never done before in Rocky's 50th year, it's like it was meant to be.
Concur. Yeah. You know, my background is acting through my dad, and you know, I did Rocky Horror in 1998 on the 25th anniversary. And this year we had the opportunity to bring it back to Australia with Miff and a wonderful cast. So I think when you come to the Rocky Horror Show, you expect the unexpected. So, and I just love this character. I love this cast. I love this show. It's, you know, for me, it's like being in the band that I never was in. You know, it's a funny irony that about this show. It's just sort of like being a rock and roll star in a theatre production. Exactly. And it's sort of about, you know, coming out of yourself. And there's something sort of, it has a wonderful heart, this show, but it also taps into that part in all of us that is a little bit of a misfit and a little bit of someone who's looking for direction and wants to be different. You know, we all want to be a little bit different, but Frank pushes the bar probably a little too much at times.
And also Jason is phenomenal as Frank. People are blown away. Like, I think so many people, they might not realise you've had, 30 years of music theatre experience in the UK. Like you've done.
I can feel it in my body. I can tell you.
Point I was trying
and you are, you've got chops and you're hugely respected. But when they see Jason do this role, it's like, I think it's such you're amazing. You're actually amazing at it. And you really take on the character, and audiences love him. So
the theatre has become a home for me. You know, musical theatre particularly. I mean, I guess for me it combined the two things that are my passion, which is music and acting. And you know, I guess it's underscored by the moment I had really in 1991 at the Palladium with Joseph, and it's gone on from there. And I didn't set out to be musical theatre. It sort of found me, but The good thing about musical theatre is I can age with it. Yes. So as I get older, the bones and the body might be telling me one thing, but I can start to pick and choose the parts that represent my age. Hold on a second, Frankenfurter. I don't know whether that quite works, but yeah, no. Listen, it's great to be here. Civic, Newcastle, great town, and it deserves these wonderful shows. And let's hope the future is bright for this city with touring and theatrefullstop.com. And do you know what? It's a short show. So actually, that's a wonderful thing because you never really get bored in this show. By the time you are, you're in the bar thinking about the next act. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Here's what Lord Mayor Nuatali Nelms and Sir Howard Panter had to say about the show.
23,000 tickets have already been sold, which have broken box office records.
And that's just the beginning.
So it's a fantastic endorsement of theatre, of performance here in the city of Newcastle. This amazing venue, the Civic Theatre, has hosted many wonderful performers across the stage, but it is a great honour in the 50th year of the Rocky Horror Picture Show and Trafalgar's first full performance here to welcome Sir Howard and the team. And we hope that this is the start of a very long and fruitful relationship with Trafalgar and many other touring companies to make sure that Novocastrians and visitors to Newcastle have access to high quality live performances, live theatre. And as you can see, it's been a very deliberate strategy with the City of Newcastle over many years to attract high level performances and major events to the city. So this 3-week run of Rocky Horror with local stars like Mick Warhurst and international Australians like Jason Donovan performing here on this stage is going to be really exciting. And it's obviously thrilled local fans, but we have sold tickets in every state consistently across Australia and as far away as the United Kingdom. So those box office sales are an endorsement of not only Trafalgar, in particular this production of Rocky Horror in its 50th anniversary, but also I believe the City of Newcastle as a destination for live performers, for theatre and for events.
It's a great pleasure for us to be here, and I am told as well that about 50% of the people who've bought tickets for the Rocky Horror Show have never been to the Civic before. So that's a wonderful statement of faith and a wonderful statement that people will come to this theatre. More people will come into this theatre, more people will come into Newcastle or are in Newcastle and they haven't seen this fantastic facility. This really is a world-class venue and we're absolutely thrilled to be starting this section of Rocky Horror and its famous 50th anniversary year. There aren't many rock and roll shows that have lasted for 50 years and it plays somewhere at every day in the year. It plays somewhere in the world and we're thrilled to be having our absolute premier production opening here in Newcastle. We've had some very productive discussions with the city about bringing more shows to Newcastle, which we certainly want to do. It certainly should be getting all the best shows, this theatre. There's no question it should be getting all the best shows around the world. There's no reason why it shouldn't. Fantastic auditorium, fantastic city, fantastic catchment. And we've shown before we opened, as the Mayor has pointed out, to have broken the box office records before it's opened. Because this show, and these days, a lot of tickets are quite close to performance time. People tend to book, really a day or so before. They used to book months before, but now they book a bit closer. So I think it's going to get a really great number of people coming through those wonderful doors out there. It is such an exceptional building and I want more people to enjoy it and more people to enjoy the Rocky Horror Show, which if you're not up on your feet, I want to know why on the opening night, because we were doing something wrong.
This is where it
sounds good.
Good stuff.
The much-loved A Little Bit of Broke Festival will return this March in the Hunter Valley. Coinciding with the momentous bicentenary of Broke, the annual event is promising a record number of festival offerings, with 16 locations taking part in the multi-venue festival alongside some great major events. It's all happening on the weekend of Friday the 15th of March. To find out more, head to newcastlelive.com.au. The good stuff.
That's it for the good stuff today. I'd love to say a big thank you to Miff Warhurst and Jason Donovan. Be sure to head along to the Civic Theatre to see the Rocky Horror Show while it's here in Newcastle, and we'll see you tomorrow from 4 p.m. for more of the good stuff.